Right now, we are going to be joined by Congressman Brad Schneider. He represents the 10th District of the state of Illinois. We've just learned that President Trump is making some potential plans to send the National Guard to Chicago, and he has requested that they be stationed at the Naval Station Great Lakes. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Congressman.
Thanks for having me.
So what was your initial reaction when you heard that President Trump would potentially like to store the National Guard here at the Naval Station Great Lakes if he does end up deploying them here to the Chicagoland area?
Thanks. I think you have to divide it into two reactions. First is understanding what's happening at Naval Station Great Lakes. This is the Navy's largest training base. It is the only base that Navy recruits come for basic training. Every year, upwards of 50,000 young people, men and women, who enlist in the Navy come for their basic training. Others come for training in other aspects of their responsibilities as sailors in defending our nation. And we need to make sure that nothing happens at this base that diminishes the purpose and the mission of the station. And that's first and foremost.
So
the president's threats.
No, go ahead.
I would say the second thing is the president's threats to, he's literally trying to bully and scare Illinois, Chicago, and our communities around this region. We have vital, vibrant cities, towns, villages. We are welcoming places, and the president is trying to intimidate and scare our community. To the president that we're not easily scared. We're going to continue to build on the strength of our communities, and the governor hasn't asked for National Guard troops. We don't need them, and the president should take his bullying somewhere else.
And I'm glad that you brought up the governor here, because you said he has not asked for help from the Trump administration. Where does the law exactly stand? We've heard a lot of things. I'm just wondering, can you clear up exactly if President Trump does have the power to send the National Guard troops here to the Chicagoland area like he did in D.C.? Does he technically have that authority to do so? And what does that look like?
That's a great question. It's not clear. He clearly has authority in Washington, D.C. Washington is not a state. It's under the authority of the federal government. I would argue more so under the authority of Congress, but it's a very distinct nature to the police and the protection of the nation's capital. We were a nation founded on the idea of states' rights, individual states. If it's not clearly articulated in the Constitution, the rights belong with the state. It is the governor of each state who has the authority to ask the president for help. The National Guard. Governor Pritzker's been very clear. He is not asking for that help. We don't need that help from the president. What we need is collaboration and cooperation from the president to help our police forces in communities across our state to make our cities safe and secure. The president can do us a whole lot of good by releasing the funds being withheld from police departments, fire departments, others across the country. That's the help we need. Let's work together rather than the president's desire to bully and intimidate.
Congressman Schneider, have you seen or learned anything from what President Trump has done in Washington, D.C. that could help Chicagoans and everybody in Illinois prepare just in case this were to make its way here?
Well, obviously, my hope is that we don't see National Guard troops walking through our streets. What is important is that Illinois law is clear. Our police forces in all our communities are there to work and support us. We should continue to rely on our local authorities and trust them. And hopefully the threats of the president won't come to being, but if they do, we will continue to work with our local authorities, local police departments, to make sure all of our citizens and residents are safe and secure in their homes and as they go about their lives.
What are you hearing from some of your local constituents on the possibility of this coming here?
Yeah, two things. The first is anger that the president is trying to intimidate the people of Illinois and the residents in our communities. The second thing is that there are many people who are fearful more about the threats of immigration raids, immigration enforcement that is not focused on the criminals and keeping our safe street, but seems to be more focused on attacking people who look like they might have been immigrants, were citizens of this country, born in this country. We've seen far too many stories of not criminals, but people going about their daily lives, living as citizens, providing for their families, contributing to their communities, being targeted by this administration, held for days, weeks, or even months. And there are people who are fearful of that.
I also want to know what has been the response from some of your colleagues on the Hill, on both sides of the aisle, in terms of the route that President Trump is kind of going, and with using federal troops in order to, I guess, occupy Democratic-led cities.
Right. So we've been in our district work period. So everyone's working in their own district for the last several weeks. So we haven't had a chance to have broad conversations. I've talked to a number of my colleagues on a one-to-one basis, Democratic colleagues who all share the same anger and frustration with what this administration is doing, focused on political vendettas rather than making our country stronger and our people safer. We go back next week, and I look forward to having those conversations. And I'm hopeful that this is not a partisan issue, but that Democrats and Republicans working together back to providing the resources to first responders, to law enforcement, to making sure we're keeping our communities safe and releasing the funds and convincing the administration to put aside the political vendettas and focus on making our country stronger and our people safer.
All right, Congressman Brad Schneider, representing the 10th District of Illinois. Hopefully we can bring you back on the show when you do return to Washington, D.C. in the next week or so. Thanks again for your time this afternoon.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
All right.